Hi, my name is C. Thomas. I'm from the DMV. My spirit animal is a dragonfly.
Why a dragonfly?
Dragonflies represent change and growth and determination.
How do you think that you exemplify those things?
As a kid, I was told I was not going to be certain things, that I will be certain things, all filled with negativity. Dragonflies is the bastard of the insect community. They are often attacked by other insects, and they still continue to fly and to shine and to rise above all of the negativity that is thrown at them, no matter what. They will continue to be that dragonfly that they were meant to be.
So it's kind of like a forever growth kind of thing.
Absolutely. I would say over the years I've evolved. I've been in my pupil stage. I've come into my growth with my colors and my wingspan and my bite, if you will, and my stare back at America and how they feel about me, and then as well as family and friends as well. Everything that was thrown at me, I put in the blender and I said, smoothie, let's go for it.
Why do you feel like you have to be that kind of person?
Because life has given me no other choice but to be that type of person. Being a Black gay man, growing up as the youngest child of 5 children, losing my mother at age 10, not knowing who my father was until age 32, but prior to that, abused as a child by a family member, I had no other choice but to rise above the circumstances that were given to me. I had a choice. I could either go with purple pill and go with total destruction, or go with yellow pill and just be who I'm supposed to be with all that muck. Why not use it as soil and fertilizer, right?
Right, why not grow in the muck? So it's like, how does that translate into you finding your pen and finding your life in poetry?
I have always been told that I was a very in-your-face person, even as a child. And my mother used to say that this is going to be my little fame and fortune because he has stuff to say. And growing up, even with everything that I went through, growing up, I never had a closed mouth. Angry, of course, but that anger transpired and transformed into other things, one of which was, no one knows this, I know how to play piano. And I just used that art and actually just discovered other areas through dance, theater, but then I fell in love with poetry because I felt as though poetry took all of that and put it into one thing. I have the heartbeat of the piano, the theatrics of theater, and then I have the colors of all the artists who have painted beautiful tapestries.
What are some of your favorite artists who've painted these beautiful tapestries?
Jean-Michel Basquial is my all-time favorite artist. This man was ahead of his times in coming up with, his name is escaping me right now, but Basquial did some of the most wonderful art, and staring into the face of reality, coming up as a bisexual Trinidadian. He homeless at age 16 because his father found out he was bisexual, and he just poured all of his pain into painting. And he coined the phrase same old, which is same old shit every day. That's where that phrase comes from. And graffiti art comes from Basquial. No one, and a lot of people don't know that. This man, he ushered in a movement that you wouldn't even consider to be art, and it blew him up. He was so humble with himself. He would keep literally $1 million in his apartment for everyone to see without not even thinking about it. And people just like us would be in there, and he would just trust everyone. He was very trusting, but at the same time, he knew that he was also a statistic because he's Black and he's a minority. But it didn't stop him from being great.
That's beautiful. And it's like when we think of artists who were gay or bisexual, but we know them very well, like R.G. Lord or James Baldwin, how does it feel to put your name amongst those people?
It's a very humbling and honorable mention to be put in that category, because I do not feel as though I'm worthy enough to be put in that category with those brilliant souls and brilliant minds. Like, I stand on the ground that they constructed for me and other Black queer artists who walk upon, to breathe life into the arts. I am a firm believer generations before us, they set the ground and they did things for us. And now they expect us and they want us and they need for us to pick the torch back up and to carry on that same thing and to do the things that they weren't able to do with what they have.
On a lighter note, in the way that you write your poetry, what's your favorite like poetic device to use, or to your favorite way to put poetry together?
I'm a Janet Jackson fan.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
My favorite album to listen to when I'm writing poetry is The Velvet Rope. And the reason being is that's her most personal album. She gave herself so freely on that album, and just listening to that and actually just hearing the pain in that music and in the violin, in her voice, and all of that entire part, even the color red was intentional for that album. It's beautiful. It was to breathe life. That's my motivation when I write poetry. That's
beautiful. So now it's like, in that, have you ever thought of writing music and songs versus not just writing poems, but only writing poetry?
Little fun fact, I write songs.
Oh, okay, we learning everything about 6 hours a day. Let's go.
Yes, I write songs. I just don't share them. Okay. But I do write songs, and I even sing a little bit. But poetry is my main focus. It's just something about it. It's just, it calls, and that's where my tongue is navigated. And that's what I listen to the universe and the ancestors when it comes to that.
Where is it leading you? Oh, where is it taking you from here?
I don't know, but I do know it's somewhere beautiful. It's somewhere magical. It's somewhere where I know I can flourish further. And it's somewhere I know I can actually shine down on those who look up to me, and to show them that you too can do what I'm doing, despite what life has given you and has told you, despite what your family has placed upon you, despite what your friends and your naysayers have said to you. You are worth every single bit of deserving of this. Your pain may know you, but it has absolutely no power over you.
Well, that answers my next question, which is like advice for us, because wow, we really need to know that, you know what I mean, that we're worth it, that we deserve that, and that's where your journey is leading you to reminding us of that.
Absolutely.
That's so beautiful. And it's like, how can we support you past this?
I am recently the executive director of a nonprofit, Project Beacon of Hope. Project Beacon of Hope, it helps families and children affected by child abuse or abuse in general. I am in the process of still building, but just simply following us on Instagram would be a great help. And I do believe your followers are not followers. They have become your social media family. So family, come together and then let's do what we're supposed to do. My name is C. Thomas, and this is Elevate.